Angel Amy is helping me with this interpretation of my music called Libby 4. It's a piano piece that's about 20 minutes long. It's got kind of a tone in it that seems as if the music's coming for you, that there's a start, and you wonder maybe what's coming actually, but it's kind of like there's an impending surprise or idea that's coming. It has kind of like a sense of going towards a goal. So there's an aim, and where there's an aim, there's power, says Emerson. He says that it's not the moment of repose where power lies, but in the darting towards an aim over a gulf. It's kind of like that. This mood that it's in, there's a settled mood in it, even though it's coming towards you. It has a patience, almost as if it doesn't really have anything to do, but it fills the time. An art of meditation, as one might be in solitude, meditating, um, killing time, murdering time, using the real man, or Blake's term for the imagination. So the imagination is what helps you distract yourself from that feeling that you're hindered by time. So when I think of time, I also think of Macbeth and his imagination. Um, there's a persistent rhythm in it because it has eighth notes in kind of a continual way. Um, it has a sense of experimenting. This where there's experimentation. I'd rather choose another word, play. The word play is what this music kind of symbolizes, even though it is playing. All music is, but this one in particular. So it relates to the play within a play of Hamlet, or the play within a play of Midsummer Night Dream, which I like best. Um, Bottom and the other players who act out the Thisbe and Pyramus part of their play. Some tragedy within a comedy, but it's mock tragedy, so they kind of over exaggerate. Um, Nothing is better to do than read poetry, I think, and poetry by yourself, um, by yourself in solitude. So this is kind of like a song that celebrates the idea that if you don't have anything better, well, that poetry can't be topped. Pretty much, this song kind of relays that sense. That poetry is the highest, um, most valuable activity you can do with your time. It's a kind of manifesto for that. Um, there's a steady progression in it that works. When I think of the word progress, I think of Richard Rorty's book called Truth and Progress. He's a pragmatist philosopher. There's also a sense of planning ahead in this music, with a plot almost, but it's almost as a satire on planning ahead. A satire for me always relates to the winter season. Um, Harold Bloom talks about this in his Stories and Poems for Extremely Intelligent Children of All Ages, an anthology of poems where he set different poems up according to the season, and short stories too by the season. And when you think of winter, I think of Wallace Stevens' Snowman, who had a mind of winter. Or I also think of the winter songs in Shakespeare. When icicles hang by the wall and Dick the Shepherd blows his head, that comes from, um, I guess it's Love's Labor is Lost. And then there's also the one in Out Through the Looking Glass, where Humpty Dumpty sings his song, "In winter when the fields are white, I sing this song for your delight." And then it goes on. But winter is a season that farmers have less time outdoors to work and do their things, so they have time inside. Um, so maybe reading poems would be best for for them if they have the time. There's even a little bit of a feeling of moralizing in this. Not my music doesn't normally do this, but this one does in this piano piece called Libby 4, in the play of it. And being moral is kind of like a sense of virtuousness. Nathaniel Hawthorne had a short story where it said a moralized legend. I think that was the Wakefield story he had written, where Wakefield actually leaves his wife for 40 years, goes and moves next door. She doesn't know that he's out there, not in the next neighborhood, and she didn't even know why he left her. But then he comes home all of a sudden one day, after a rainstorm. You must wait is the theme of this music. So it's saying to you that you have kind of like you must wait, kind of like Wakefield did or his wife did, for him to come back. So be patient. Good things come to those who are patient. When I think of patience, I think of the pattern of all patience in King Lear's line in the storm scene where he's hiding and being stubborn. I also think of Patience, the musical by Gilbert and Sullivan, the opera, who takes its title from the name of a girl, Patience, in that book, in that story. Impatience is the only sin, says Franz Kafka. Sin and original sin may or may not work for this piece, but it definitely has a suggestion that we don't have to be on the attack for knowledge, but just to wait until that knowledge and wisdom comes to us. Shelley, the poet, was one who felt that sacrificing easier pleasures for more difficult ones was a good thing. And Nietzsche said that the greatest ideas are the greatest events. So in this piece, this one surprises. This one carries lots of surprises that we perhaps are waiting for and one day will achieve. There's that idea that we can get to, if we just wait it out a little bit longer, then those good things might come for us. That's the kind of mood that this music is in, the piano music called Libby 4.